Call this meeting to order. Tuesday, September 21st, 2021, 7 p.m., City of Somerton regular council meeting. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Mayor Gerardo Anaya.
Present.
Vice Mayor Juan Castillo.
Present.
Carlos Gonzalez. Councilmember Jesus Roldan. Councilmember Luis Galindo.
Present.
Councilmember Martha Garcia.
Present.
Councilmember Miguel Villalpando. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Moving on, call to the public. Anybody from the public wishing to address council? There's no one. Okay, consent agenda, there's 2 items. Approval of application of extension of premises to Arizona Department of Liquor License and Controls on behalf of 85350 Bar and Grill for the NFL tailgate experience on September 26, 2021. The second item is also from 85350 and it's for the NFL tailgate experience October 10th, 2021. Any member of council wishing to remove any item from consent agenda? Is there a motion? So motion by Councilman Galindo.
Second.
Second by Vice Mayor Castillo. Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We have one proclamation, Hispanic Heritage Month. Whereas Hispanic Heritage Month honors all American citizens of Hispanic descent and celebrate their rich and vibrant traditions of faith, family, hard work, and patriotism. Whereas Hispanic Americans help reinforce our relationship with our Latin American neighbors as we work to bolster liberty in the region and achieve free and fair trade with our regional partners. Whereas Hispanic Americans have played a pivotal role in our country's strength and prosperity, their spirit, energy, leadership are woven into culture of America and enrich all our lives. Whereas Hispanic Americans make up more than 95% of the population in the city of Somerton, and the city of Somerton takes pride in the members of our Hispanic community and honors organizations, families, individuals of Hispanic American descent in appreciation of their invaluable local contributions in many professions and fields, including education, law, government, business, science, sports, the arts, brave service in the United States Armed Forces that continue to enrich the history and culture of our city while continuing to unite and sustain us as a community. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Gerardo Anaya of the City of Somerton, hereby proclaim September 15th to October 15th as Hispanic Heritage Month in the City of Somerton as a time to recognize and celebrate the many contributions, diverse cultures, and extensive histories of the Hispanic American community. Moving on to new business. Item number 1, discussion and possible action to approve rezoning case PLN20-00012, a rezoning request by Dahl Robinson Associates on behalf of Yuma Union High School District with a rezoning of Assesor Parcel number 195-33024, a 76.11 acre parcel more or less from R16 to R2, and open space to government district for the construction of Somerton High School.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. The item before you is rezoning case PLN20-00012, aka the high school rezoning. This is a little bit of information about the property. It is I'm sure you're well familiar with the property. It's the high school parcel, 76.11 acres in size, being proposed to be rezoned from R2, R16 and open space to government district. And the purpose for the rezoning is, of course, to accommodate the future Somerton High School, which is coming soon. We've actually received plans for the high school as of this week or last week, and we are beginning the review process. So it is coming. It's just one more piece of information I'd like to share on the high school. So this is it right there. That's the property. This is the current zoning. It is currently zoned R2, R16, and open space. And the proposed zoning is government district. All schools in Somerton are zoned government district, which is why the high school is also pursuing this zoning. So one, to be consistent with all other schools in Somerton, and two, because government district offers a little bit more flexibility when we are reviewing the actual construction plans. Some information about the case. The high school has been in the planning for a very long time. It's actually mentioned as a goal in the last two general plans, the 2010 and the 2020. But when we do the 2030 general plan in a few years, it won't be a goal, it'll be an asset, hopefully. The process for the rezoning began last year and was tabled in the middle of the pandemic, but it was resumed this summer, and we are almost at the end of it. Staff finds the high school compatible with our general plan and just about every vision we have for the city. The high school somehow is part of it. So with that being said, and having received no objections from the public or from any entity, staff recommendation for this rezoning is for approval. And could you go to the next slide? Thank you. This case was reviewed also by the Planning and Zoning Commission, and they also recommended approval with conditions. Would the council like me to go over the conditions of approval for the rezoning case?
If they're the standard, no, but if there's something that stands out, yes.
Everything is standard except for the common condition number 4, which is they have to record a non-access easement, but that's specific to the property just because they are adjacent to a water user's canal, and the water users doesn't like to, for safety issues and other things, they like to restrict access to their right-of-ways. So there will be a 1 foot wide non-access easement on the western edge of the property. And then also something that's also site-specific is that they have to develop the pathways along Cesar Chavez Avenue. The pathway is somewhat improved in that area, but there's a couple of other amenities that are still missing for it to be 100% improved, and the high school will be required to complete those as part of their project. And then also non-specific, not standard, but specific to this project is the need for a conditional use permit. And that's the last zoning permit that they will be required before they are all clear with zoning.
Thank you. Any questions, comments? Is there a motion? So motion by Councilwoman Garcia.
Second.
Second by Vice Mayor Castillo. Also in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mayor, Council.
Item number 2, discussion and possible action to approve first reading by title only of ordinance number 2021-008, an ordinance mayor and city council amending ordinance number 2015-002 and rezoning certain areas in the city for real property described herein as parcel number 185-33024, a 76.11 acre parcel, more or less, and more particularly describing Exhibit A attached. Here too from R2 to R16 and open space to government district.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. This is the ordinance approving the rezoning, which was just approved by you. So if I may, I'd like to read the ordinance by title only.
Go ahead.
Thank you. This is ordinance number 2021-008, an ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of Somerton, Arizona, amending ordinance number 2015-002, and rezoning certain areas in the city for real property described herein as APN 19533-024, a 76.11 acre parcel, more or less, and more particularly described on Exhibit A, attached here too from R2 multifamily residential, R16 single family residential, and open space to government district.
Is there a motion to approve first reading by title only of ordinance number 2021-008? It's a motion by Councilwoman Garcia.
Second, Mayor.
Second by Councilmember Galindo. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3.
Mayor, before we proceed, the reading of the ordinance comes after the motion for it to be official. So
Read it
looks like,
again.
we-
I did that on
yeah.
purpose.
we have to listen to Mr. Albor's lovely voice again. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. That almost seems like it was on purpose. So this is once again, Mayor and Council, this is ordinance number 2021-008. An ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of Somerton, Arizona, amending ordinance number 2015-002 and amending certain areas of the city for real property described herein as APN 19533-024, 76.11 acre parcel, more or less, and more particularly described on Exhibit A, attached here too from R2 multifamily residential, R16 single family residential, and open space to government district.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion to read it again? No, just kidding. Item number 3, discussion and possible action to approve the purchase of 8 vehicles through state contract, estimated values for 2022 Silverado 1500 two-wheel drive crew cab for $62,645.46. 2022 Silverado 1500 two-wheel drive double cab for $57,865.10. 2022 F-150 crew cab 4x4 for $88,046.64. 2022 F-250 4x4 for $65,384.57, and 2021 F-150 crew cab 4x4 for $43,126.09 for municipal court, police department, animal control, and public works.
Mayor and Council, from our last meeting, this is part of our CIPs. As you know, we had about 110 vehicles, and we have about 18 vehicles that we're going to be auctioning off. And this, again, this is part of the CIPs. 1 truck for public works, 1 for the court. The Silverado two-wheel drive double cab for public works as well. 1 4x4 animal control, which is the F-250. They need the diesel, and they also need the larger chassis for the cab itself. And then an F-150 crew cab for police, and there's 2 of those. And there's one, a 2021 crew cab 4x4 for police as well, and that's just 1. The estimated delivery days, as you can see, there might be anywhere from January through March, or even till the summer, depending on the items that the vehicles will be coming with.
Any questions or comments?
Just for the record, why didn't we buy local?
It was the cost. Last time it happened with even the SUV, I think it was about $10,000 more. Some of these, they didn't even have them.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
And then unfortunately, some of we're hopefully maybe one of these days our state vendors, or our local vendors rather, are in the state contract. It'll be great to apply for one of these state contracts and or some sort of cooperative. It'll be easier for us to buy local.
Any other questions or comments? Is there a motion? So motion by Councilman Galindo. Second by Councilwoman Garcia. All those in favor?
Right.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Discussion and possible action to approve development agreement between Yuma Union High School District number 70 and City of Somerton for infrastructure improvements relating to Somerton High School.
Give me a second, Mayor. So, Mayor and Council, after many years of being in negotiation with the Yuma Union High School District, outside counsel Bill Sims, who's representing the city, was able to negotiate an IGA with the high school district. So essentially on this agreement that you have in front of me, Yuma Union High School District number 70 desires to construct a high school to serve the needs of the Somerton community. The high school facilities will be constructed on real property owned by the school district and will require certain off-site roadways, some traffic signals, irrigation facilities, domestic water facilities, sewer infrastructure, including a lift station, a force main, and a 15-inch gravity line. As part of our agreement, the city intends to build a public park, private development, installing master plan infrastructure improvements to support future residential and commercial developments. So basically, the Yuma Union High School District and the city desire to work together to accomplish the construction of the off-site improvements and to document each of their respective obligations concerning the financing and construction of the off-site improvements. This development agreement has been vetted by the school district's attorney to their satisfaction. It's been vetted by Mr. Bill Sims, our outside counsel, and myself. City manager has looked at it along with staff. We sincerely think that this is the final version, and we're hoping that the council approve this. We're recommending that today so we can move forward with the construction and start the improvements needed on the west side of our city. Any questions or comments on the IGA, Mayor and Council?
Any questions or comments? Since our last meeting, is there anything that stands out? Any changes to what was discussed as far as the agreement that was changed at the last hour?
No, everything had changed. I mean, nothing new. I know that they wanted that west side road, but that was taken care of regarding them because they wanted an easement. And obviously we gave them, that road will be a public road. So we did give them information that will be used by public and the high school has access to. That was the biggest concern that they had at this point.
Any questions or comments? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve. Make a motion to approve development agreement between Yuma Union High School District number 70 and City of Somerton for infrastructure improvements relating to Somerton High School.
A motion by Vice Mayor Castillo. Second by Councilwoman Garcia. Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Gonna go to summary of current events.
Mayor and Council, after 2007, this high school idea came about and or was going to start constructing. So it's been a long time coming. So, you know, it's been something that the community has always wanted, including the Yuma Union High School. So finally, after a couple of years, you know, close to 15 years or so, it has actually come to fruition. So congratulate everyone that has taken place from staff and mayor and council. So thank you to everyone that has supported this. Even obviously, Mr. Porches has always been helpful in making sure this comes to fruition. So congratulations. COVID-19 early warning continues to be at a level 2 of concern. It just keeps fluctuating with level 2 and level 1. So we will still keep on promoting the vaccinations. In addition, we're also working with the National Community Health Partners that will start vaccinating for first doses starting next week. Also something that's very important for the community that was just brought to our attention by the court. Beginning October 24th, 2021, any calls from the area codes 928-480-520 must dial 10-digit codes, the area code plus the phone number. Changes were done for FCC to establish the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, nationwide phone number 988, and the 3-digit dialing code will be in place July 16th, 2022. So it's that change that's coming. October 2nd is our UTV block party. So hopefully we'll have about 20,000 people here in Somerton here next week. December 4th, it will be our employee appreciation dinner. So make sure you RSVP. Hector, you have some really good news for us. I think so. Your
His face said it all.
You're like, what no, your event, your summer events. Mr. Galindo has been waiting for this. So you can start with that good news, Hector.
No, es el primero.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Today we have a discussion with Beer Scooters. It's a company, I think it's still in Yuma. They're doing the scooters over there. And basically the company mentioned that there's no cost to the city to bring those to Somerton. The only thing is will be to start, will be a 12 months like a pilot program. They will bring 50 scooters into Somerton. They will come and select the specific sites. So the user will subscribe through the company's app. They subscribe and then their charge is gonna be based per minute. So you ride this scooter for 5 minutes. So he mentioned like maybe between 20 and 30 cents per minute. So that will be the range of the cost for riding these things. But it's pretty simple. It will be an agreement between the city and the company. There's no cost to the city. It can be a 12 months pilot program. So they told me they can put it here next week. But I told them, wait, we have to have an agreement before. Give it to legal for review. So maybe by October, if it's okay with a legal review and also city council, it can be here by October, that scooters.
That's good, my active friend.
So that's good. The Parkview Commerce Center, we have still on the Dahl company is still working with for the buyers. We're still missing some information from Sunset, but everything is moving forward for the sale of those 3 lots. So everything is good there. On the Old City Hall site, we have a proposal coming in soon. So the interest on the corners going up. I got another call this morning, but look like the one we have so far looks very good. So you may be able to see this one by early October, the proposal. As Saul mentioned, we received the preliminary plan for the high school. They told us that they will be submitting the final for the building plan for the high school by the week of October 4th. So that will be that will be coming soon. The groundbreaking is expected on the first week of November on that location. So that's coming. Also, I didn't put in my notes, but they told me this morning that the company rings around the world over there buy the property on Avenue B in County 19. They're gonna bring a 25-employee high-tech welding company. They're relocating from Tijuana, Mexico, coming to Somerton. It is a San Diego company, and GYDC negotiated, and they found this site, so they're coming to close to Somerton. Initially, it's going to be 25 employees, but they want to bring more of the production into Somerton. What they do specialized hooks for the ships all over the world. So it's a big company. But they're going to start small first, but eventually, hopefully, they will be selling more. They're not in Somerton city limits, but eventually we annex this. They also sell, so will be sales tax revenues coming to Somerton. Thank you,
Chief De Anda.
Mayor and Council. I know I've already thanked all of you before. I want to thank you again for the raises you gave our personnel. Because of this, for the first time in 3 years, we're fully staffed. As of the 28th of this month, we'll have a complete staff for the first time in 3 years. So that rotating thing we've had, and that's awesome. So thank you. As far as the COVID that's going on, we are seeing a resurgence. We're doing between 20 to 50 some rapid COVID tests a week to the city staff and school people and people from the public. Very few of those are coming out positive, but what we're seeing an uptick in the amount of people we're transporting that are COVID positive, and they're sick and they're staying in the hospital. About half of the ones that we followed, because one of our ex-firefighters is a nurse over there, Romeo. We've asked him how many of them have hit the ICU. He says about half the people we've transported, which are 4 to 5 a week, are ending up in ICU. And so this thing is kicking and going. It's still going strong. That's why I have my mask. So it's important that we share this with the public. And of course, the third thing I wrote in my weekly had to do with the fatalities that we continue to have in South County. Of course, we had the young man on Avenue H, hit the culvert and lit up his car. Previous to that, we had the dual fatality on 12th and a half. And if you go back on Avenue G from January this way, I believe it's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 deaths, I think, so far this year, just on Avenue G. And we're not talking about Avenue B or any other places. And so, of course, we wish we see a higher patrol from the sheriffs, because this is a county area. This isn't the city problem, this is a county problem. And we'll be reaching out to Sheriff Wilmot and seeing if we can get some support from him. That's all I have. Thank you.
Carmen.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We have the initiation of the adoption process for the development impact fees. We're about to start this is a rather lengthy process. So we are going to start, we have scheduled the first public hearing on October 19th before City Council. And at this public hearing, we're not going to be asking for any motion. We're just going to be presenting the information to you. Ben Griffin from Tischler Vice will be here to present this. And the adoption will actually take place on November 19th, which is 30 days after the public hearing. After Council adopts the land use assumption and infrastructure improvement plan, we need to wait another 30 days for the second public hearing on the actual development fees, the amount that we are going to be collecting with each building permit. That is going to take place 30 days after, which is around December 19th. And 30 days after, the public hearing is going to be the adoption of the actual impact fees, which is around January 19th. And the effective date will be 75 days after the adoption of the new fees, which is around April 19th. So this is all by state statute. We cannot change the dates. We cannot change the process or expedite it in any way. So it is quite lengthy, but that's what the process is. And these development impact fees are for public safety, wastewater, and street facilities only. So on a different note, staff is waiting for the plan submittal of a future marijuana dispensary. This one is gonna happen on County 15 and Smith Way up on the Mesa. So we have been informed that the plans, they were supposed to be submitted today, but we didn't receive them yet. So it's either tomorrow or the next day when we receive those plans, and the plans are for an expansion and some remodel of an existing structure. That's what we have.
Mr. Mesa.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council. Just want to mention that we met with NEI to review the project manual for the Joe Munoz Skate Park. We are expecting 100% completion of the design and that project for this week to begin the bidding process. Also, staff is preparing to oversee key sites like Joe Munoz Park starting October 27th. So we're going to start that process and have sufficient time for the seed to grow properly. Also, senior center trip went well. We had 23 clients. They returned in one piece, no issues on the way and back, and they're happy. They're very happy, and they want to say thank you to the council for support. That's all I have. Thank you.
Mr. Palacios.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. An update on our Cesar Chavez project. DPE started preparing the roadway subway for the concrete curb and gutter on the pending segment of Cesar Chavez between Main Street and Spring Street. APS electrical box were in conflict, and it was relocated yesterday. On the high school area sewer lift station project, contractor continues installing PVC pipe for the gravity line from north to south. Groundwater was an issue on this trench, so they start basically dewatering the trench for the gravity line. The wastewater bar screen project update. Interviews with the top 2 manufacturers was performed last week. Staff decided to select Hoover to be our manufacturer to our bar screen for the wastewater treatment plant. The purchase of this equipment will be placed on the next council for approval. The annual cleanup, our streets department continues preparing the site and the equipment for this event. Cleanup advertisement started 2 weeks ago by placing the information on the city website, social media, banners on the refuse trucks, and information on the water bill. In addition to that, we're gonna place 2 message boards on Main Street and on Somerton Avenue. Thank you.
Chief.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. So for our blood drive, we had 19 units that were collected. Thank you for those that came out. I know the mayor, city manager, Vanessa, who's here, participated, myself, and a couple other people. So it was, according to the people that were helping us, it was successful. Also, we went ahead and met all the requirements for the Arizona Pole Standard Board for our training for last year. So everybody's in compliance. And our National Guard, who is housed at our department, there's 3 gentlemen that are helping us every day with some of the clerical work that happens there. They've helped us a lot in making sure that some of the data that we had stored in papers is being entered into the computer system. For example, our fleet is entered into our management system, have recently been entered into our management system, just every detail of our vehicles. And then one of the other things that they've helped us that took them about a month and a half. One of the gentlemen entered a lot of the card data felony cases that we had in boxes that our clerks had to look for them physically. Now they're in computers, so they've been digitally transformed. So that's going to be a lot of help for us. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. From finance, she's I was laughing, but it's not a laughing matter. But there's 3 or 4 people here within the city hall, and well, the city they're hurt their arms, and well, she's hurt too. She's with finance director. She's working with WIFA reimbursements from those loans that we've had. Finishing off some of the department head meetings, budget meetings rather, and also preparing the utility statements that will be scanned option for that new kiosk. And that concludes. Oh, HR. Sorry, I forgot HR. He's here.
Normally don't give updates on internal matters, but if you'll see on our website and you'll see on Indeed.com, we have opened an advertising for the position of Economic Development Director, who will be working hand in hand with our current Economic Development Director. So if you know of anybody that's interested in that position, then, we would ask that you encourage them to apply. Thank you.
Councilwoman Garcia. Councilman Castillo. Oh, Vice Mayor Castillo, sorry.
I have nothing, Mayor. Are we going to give courts an opportunity to share? Or?
Well, usually it's the politics, but I don't know if there's anything.
I just
to
thought
share.
he's here.
Do we need to finish this meeting fast? Come on.
Okay. I got nothing.
Fortunately, not cases from the case. When I say some, approximately 68. So that's much worse.
Councilman Galindo.
No, thank you.
I don't have anything. I think just we're gonna have our first event of the fiscal year here, so we're not gonna have a council meeting till then, right? So hopefully everybody can make it. Councilman Gonzalez sent a police escort with this summer current event, so I'll read it. Mayor Gerardo Naya and council members. My life has been filled with many blessings and opportunity which I probably do not deserve. I've always felt like I needed to and wanted to give back to our community, which gave me so many opportunities, both personally and professionally. During the past 45 years, I've had the honor and privilege to serve on several boards, committees, organizations, and as a councilman for the city of Somerton, Arizona. During my tenure on the Somerton City Council, a beautiful modern city hall was built, new pathways, parks, and a basketball court were reconstructed. The community center and swimming pool were remodeled. Several streets improvements projects were completed. A new high school will finally become a reality. Furthermore, City Council approved for a new grocery store and an Ace Hardware to be developed. And finally, a much-needed traffic stoplight will soon be operational at the intersection of Cesar Chavez and Main Street. Recently, I was elected to the Yuma High School District Governing Board with 6 high schools and approximately 11,000 students, including over 1,400 paid staff. I have found myself at a crossroads. I find myself attempting to juggle my personal and professional commitments. All this while still making myself accessible to our constituents. After consulting with my immediate family, I've decided to resign my position as City of Somerton Councilman, effective September 21st, 2021. This was one of the most difficult decisions I've ever had to make, but I sincerely believe it's in the best interest of my family, our community, and all those students and parents from the school district who I now represent. I want to thank residents of Somerton. It's been my honor having had the opportunity to be your voice in our community. Special thanks to my fellow council members who I served with in the past and present. In addition, thank you to city managers, city staff, who work extremely hard every day to keep the city running effectively and efficiently and effectively. I wish all you great success as you continue your work to maintain and improve the best little city in Arizona, which Somerton is and will continue to be. Respectfully, Carlos Gonzalez. Okay. It's 7:39, meeting's adjourned. And we're not gonna do the executive sessions. I want the rest of council to be here. And I know many of you know, but also Councilman Villalpando's father passed, so the wake is today.